It is 6 o'clock, and I would like to call this Governing Board MUSD board meeting to order. So roll call.
Tori Anderson.
Present.
Patty Portray.
Present.
Scott Bartle.
Present.
Leslie Caldwell-Barnett.
Here.
Veronica Gay.
Present.
All right, thank you. Pledge of Allegiance. I've asked Cassandra Solis, she is our spelling bee champion, to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Will you please stand?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Cassandra. Is there a motion to adopt the agenda?
I'd like to make a motion that we adopt the agenda with the amendment of pulling the meeting minute approval from the consent agenda.
I second that because I was going to do the same thing. So, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries, pulling the item from the consent agenda. Okay, next is our call to the public. And I need to read my little legal brief here. The procedures to follow if you address the board. Members of the board may not discuss items that are not specifically identified on the agenda. Therefore, pursuant to ARS 38-431, action taken as a result of public comment will be limited to directing staff to study the matter, responding to any criticism, or scheduling the matter for a future agenda. The board requests that all comments be limited to 3 minutes or less, and that the public refrain from the use of speech or language that is offensive or inappropriate, pursuant to board policy KFA. And if you'll please share your name when you come up to the podium so we know who to contact if we need to follow up. So with that being said, is there anyone that'd like to come up to call to the public? Okay, seeing no one, we will go forward. First on the agenda is superintendent's report.
Well, it's my pleasure to start the superintendent's report with the Rotary Students of the Month, and I will turn that over to Monica from Rotary Club.
First of all, I'd like to thank the Governing Board and Dr. Chestnut for allowing the Rotary to honor these students during your board meeting. I would like to get started along with the first nominee. The first nominee that we have is Satara Miller, and I'm just going to read a little blurb from her. It says, "You have been chosen to receive this award for being a model citizen and honor student enrolled in Algebra 1 in Honors Language Arts with a GPA of 3.8. It is reported that you have been active in student council and drama as you, Tinkerbell and Peter Pan, and you are part of the Panthers band. As a result of her hard work and excellent musical skills, you have been selected to play the clarinet in the all-state band. We also hear that you have also played softball and are currently trying out for the basketball at Maricopa Wells. In addition to your school activities, you have also served as the president of your 4-H club for 3 years and are involved in numerous church activities. Mr. Abel reports the staff and students of Maricopa Wells Middle School are proud to present you as their Rotary Club Student of the Month." And in the package for you, Satara, you have a gift card, and also along with that is the 4-way test. One of the things for the nominees to keep in mind when they apply for the scholarship with the Rotary Club is the 4-way test. And I'm just going to go over the 4 things that it means. The 4-way test of the things we think, say, or do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And will it be beneficial to all concerned? This 4-way test, we do live as a model for the Rotarians, and we believe that impacts the kids as they're young as students and also in their lives as they grow up to be adults, successful adults. So here you go, Satara. Congratulations. The next student from Desert Winds is Kennedy Wemiller. Oh, now she's walking up here. There you go. Kennedy, you have been chosen to receive this award for being a model citizen and honor student enrolled in Algebra 1 in Honors Language Arts with a GPA of 3.8. It is reported, God, it seems like it's the same one. I need to take a moment. Where's Alma? In an 8th grader at Desert Wind Middle School to be the December Rotary Student of the Month, Kennedy's parents are Aaron and Joy Wemiller. Kennedy has been chosen to receive this award for being a model citizen and being an honor student. She is in the 8th grade club, soccer, and golf teams at Desert Winds. And this is Kennedy Wemiller. Congratulations. There you go. We also had 2 more students that were to be presented today, Dan and Peters, who was not able to make it, and also for Michael Madrid, who is currently playing in a basketball game, which he'll be honored at the next board meeting. Thank you very much.
The next thing on my report is to highlight Maricopa Elementary School and our Teachers of the Month from Maricopa Elementary School, and I'll tell you about them in just a moment. But we've been taking this opportunity starting at the first meeting in January to highlight one school every board meeting. And a lot of exciting things going on at Maricopa Elementary School. One example, is a new club called Club Slither. And if you know about Maricopa Elementary School, their mascot is the Diamondbacks, so I think that's a pretty clever name for a club. Club Slither is the after-school program funded through the 21st Century Community Grant. It includes 7 academic classrooms for kindergarten through 5th grade. They also have enrichment programs featuring technology, art, and physical education. They have 96 students successfully attending the program 30 days or more. And the goal is to be up to 120 students by May. Students attending have shown significant growth through their Galileo scores, and also they've had 2 celebrations this year to recognize students' attendance in the program. So it's an after-school program where kids are having the opportunity to extend their academic learning as well as have some fun, and a lot of good stuff going on with Club Slither. Another thing that they're proud of at Maricopa Elementary School is their character education program. And each month, they focus on a different character trait, and the 6 character traits are trustworthiness, respect, responsibility, fairness, caring, and citizenship. And then there's a character assembly that's held on the first Wednesday of each month, where they recognize 2 students from every classroom to receive a character award. And they also have their hallways color coordinated with the colors of the pillars of the 6 characteristics of the 6 character traits. So very much a theme at Maricopa Elementary School. Another thing that they're proud of at Maricopa Elementary School are their business and community partnerships. One example is that this year they formed Maricopa's first ever Lego League team. It's for 4th and 5th grade students, and they're working in the area of science and technology as they design robots out of Legos and program them to navigate a Lego obstacle course. The team is called the Wizards and includes a number of students in grades 4 and 5. They attended the regional competition held on November 17th at ASU's Polytech campus, and it was the youngest team in the competition, as I understand it. So that's a great opportunity for our students. Another example of partnerships at Maricopa Elementary School, they're working with Nissan and the Society of Automotive Engineers with the program that they call A World in Motion. And this is for 4th grade students and staff to introduce science, technology, engineering, and math, what we call STEM learning, into the classroom. And so groups of engineers and volunteers will be working with the students, and this is scheduled for April and May of this spring. So they're very excited about that. And then finally, we could go on all day because there's a lot of good stuff going on at Maricopa Elementary School. But just to wrap it up here, as you know, Maricopa Elementary School was selected as the site for the Banner Health Mobile Clinic, and we had the first day there beginning January 16th, and the clinic is there once a week, and it's a great resource for uninsured students and children in the city of Maricopa. And instructions on how to get signed up for an appointment are on our school district website, and it's open to any students or any children in the city of Maricopa. They do not have to be students in the Maricopa Unified School District. So a lot of good stuff going on at Maricopa Elementary School, and so very, very proud of them and leadership by Principal Dr. Jen Robinson. Moving on, we also want to recognize some highly creative, innovative staff members at Maricopa Elementary School tonight. And first, I'd like to recognize Kimberly Williams. Kimberly is a self-contained special education teacher. This is her second year at Maricopa Elementary School. And she works with a very special group of students. She has instilled the value of learning in each of her students and pushes them to do things they never knew possible. Her passion for teaching and learning is evident in her commitment to her students. Kim inspires everyone around her to be a better teacher and do whatever it takes to help students find success. Kim is an outstanding teacher and a supportive peer, and Jen Robinson says that she wants to thank Kimberly for being an inspiration to the staff on a daily basis. So, Kimberly, if you want to come up, we have a certificate for you. Another one? Okay, we got it.
I think we're right in the middle. You moved over and moved.
Now, we have been recognizing just one teacher from each school at each meeting, but there was a tie vote. And so we're recognizing two excellent and outstanding teachers from Maricopa Elementary School tonight. The second is Jiries Sweiss. And Jiries is one of our second grade teachers. This is his second year at Maricopa Elementary School. He is hardworking and dedicated to teaching and student learning. He's an effective teacher and does whatever it takes to reach each child through creative and interactive lessons and activities. He is enthusiastic about teaching, using current data to inform instruction and reach each child. In addition to his regular school day responsibilities, he teaches in our 21st Century After School program, otherwise known as Club Slither. He also serves as our technology liaison, providing staff professional development, and is always ready to troubleshoot technology issues. Principal Jen Robinson says that he is an asset to our school and a role model for our students. Jiries is an outstanding teacher and a supportive peer, and thank you for being an inspiration to us each day also. Come on up, Jiries. Well, to continue the honoring of Maricopa Elementary School, last night was a big event. In this very room, we had the annual MUSD Spelling Bee, and the winner in first place was Cassandra Solis, a grade 5 student from Maricopa Elementary School. That's her in the middle there in blue. And so, Cassandra, if you'd like to come up, we have a certificate for you. And I'm going to have Cassandra stop right there because we also want to honor the second place winner in the spelling bee last night was Taylor Nanstile. Nanstile? Is Taylor here? And what about Porter Jones, third place? Is Porter here? Come on up, Porter.
I like it.
Well, congratulations to Cassandra and Porter for doing a great job in that spelling bee. I was here for part of it last night, and there was a lot of tension in the room. I'm telling you, it was a competition, and it was fun to watch. Students did a great job. A couple other things to report on. Congratulations to our newly elected governing board members. We have 3 newly elected governing board members, and we had 3 separate oath of office ceremonies. And had to do partly with illness and that kind of thing, so it was a pleasure to get our 3rd and final board member sworn in this evening before the board meeting. So congratulations to Leslie Carlisle Burnett. We're very excited to have her on the governing board, and I know I speak for the administrative team and the staff when I say that. And we have a little gift for you of Maricopa High School gear, including a pom-poms t-shirt and a foam finger.
See?
Okay, moving on. We had a great competition on January 14th. Blended Learning 20+1 program, middle school program located at Maricopa Wells Middle School. It's a wonderful program for our students. We have about 60 students in that program, and they've been participating in the Future Cities competition. I believe every student in the program participated on a team. They had the local competition on the 14th, and I had the opportunity to be one of the judges, and I was impressed. And I believe this was the team that ended up being the highest rated, and I think we're going to have them back at a future meeting to give you some more specifics about that team. But every single team was well prepared. Each one of them had a very excellent model that they presented as part of the presentation, but that was just part of it. There was a very extensive oral presentation that they gave that was very well done, and I know they're headed on to some regional competitions. So we're looking forward to hear how they do at that regional competition, but it was just a great learning experience for those students and a great job of presenting that evening. I want to report that we have begun the MUSD Meet and Confer Committee. It began on January 14th, and we adopted Governing Board Policy HA last fall, and actually it was on September 12th. It's being facilitated by Tom Beckett, our HR director, and we have teacher and classified staff and administrative representatives on that committee. And I think it's really a good process. It is a formal way for us to take input from staff on issues like salary, benefits, working conditions, how to improve student achievement, and how to build a stronger school district. And they've been working hard. They've been meeting regularly, and I appreciate the good work of Tom in leading that committee. And this will just be part of the way we do business in the future, and looking forward to continued feedback from that committee and moving that process forward. Also on a report, the MUSD Budget Committee began on January 15th, and the co-facilitators are Jim Irving and Rick Neilson. And at this point, I would like to turn it over to Rick to give us a little update on that Budget Committee process.
Members of the board and Dr. Chestnut. There's not a whole lot to report at this point. We've had our first meeting last Tuesday evening. The purpose of that meeting was to receive our directions from Drs. Chestnut and Dr. Conley. Essentially, the purpose of the budget committee is to provide the superintendent and his cabinet with a budget proposal for the upcoming school year, which will be 2013-2014. Provide the superintendent with updates after each of our meetings. Provide input and support for the superintendent for the coffee budget discussions that he'll be having with the community, and I believe he introduced that at the last board meeting. Board members range from administrators like myself, we have community members, volunteers, we have teachers, we have certified, classified staff. There's, I think, about 18 people on the list, and I believe we had 12 people at the meeting on Tuesday. So we believe it's a good cross-section of our community. The purpose, once we received our instructions, was to kind of, start throwing out just some questions to Dr. Chestnut, to Aaron Roush, our business manager, and to Dr. Conley, and to request information so that we can start getting into the actual evaluation process at our next meeting. We have 5 meetings scheduled. We're meeting basically every other Tuesday here at the district office at 5 o'clock. Our next meeting is next Tuesday, so we do hope to actually start evaluating the spending from this year and forecasts for next year. Any questions at this point? All right, thank you.
Also, being new to the district, I'm still trying to figure out which committees I want to be involved with and that kind of thing, and I did attend that meeting, as Rick mentioned, for a short time, and really as of last week, didn't think I wanted to participate, but after sitting through that meeting, thinking about it, I've talked to Rick and Jim and said I would like to attend, and I'm certainly going to let them facilitate the meeting. I just want to be a member. I want to listen, get the feedback, and I think I can have a better understanding of what the committee's talking about by doing that. So that's the plan as of today. And the reason, let me rephrase that. I know it's a tradition in our school district to have a budget committee. I think it's a good process because it helps to have input from different groups of people when we're going through the creation of a budget. And that includes a year when we don't have to make cuts. That includes a year maybe when we have a budget surplus and we're growing and that kind of thing. It's particularly important, I think, to have a budget committee to give more feedback in a year when we have to make some cuts. And we have a difficult situation that's facing us. And I know I've mentioned this the last couple of meetings. Just want to continue to remind you that the budget process we're going to be going through this year, leading up to your adoption of the annual budget, the second meeting in July, is going to include some cuts. And we estimate we're going to have to cut approximately $1.5 million. I have been using the number $1 million in the past because as we tried to wrap our arms around this, I was focused on the program cuts we needed to make. It is true we're going to need to make about $1 million in program cuts to get our budget to balance. If we want to have reserve funds, we're going to need to build in additional dollars. If we want a 1% reserve, we need about $1.25 million in cuts. If we want a 2% reserve, we're going to need about $1.5 million in cuts. So I apologize for not including the reserve funds in there. I think that is part of being fiscally responsible, is to include reserve funds. And that's going to be part of the discussion also. So I did want to mention that. And then you can see the list, the bullet points. These are all possibilities. And some of them really aren't that exciting. I mean, we prefer not to do these, but we may have to eliminate all-day kindergarten. We may have to close a school. We may have to cut administrative positions, possible cuts in elementary positions, secondary positions, possible program cuts, etc. And it's not easy to cut $1.5 million out of a $29 million M&O operating budget that's already tight. We recognize that. It's not going to be an easy task. So we have a process. I shared that with you last week, and we'll be getting more information out about that. In fact, it was in the newsletter that was sent to all households yesterday and today. So we should start getting the word. We'll be getting the word out there. There'll be multiple opportunities for the community to participate and provide feedback. But I do think we can go through this process, and I think we can make the decisions necessary to decide where those cuts need to be made. And I think we can develop a good budget next year that will lead to a successful school year next year. So it's not all negative, and I think that there are some opportunities here to get some efficiencies and to build us stronger for the future. Meanwhile, and at the same time, continue to improve student achievement in our school district. So not an easy task. I'm not trying to say it is, but I think it's a process we need to go through, and I think we'll have a good outcome at the end, and we will keep you posted every step of the way between now and the end of July. Also wanted to mention that on January 18th, Dr. Ember Connolly and I met with Vivian Saunders, who is the Auction Education Director, and we decided, Dr. Connolly's been meeting with Vivian regularly, and I decided that I want to start participating in those meetings as well, because I know that Vivian Saunders and the whole department there is dedicated to helping all 300 of our Native American students. And if we have anybody that's wanting to help our students achieve in student academic success, then we need to work with them as closely as possible. And I know that partnership has been in place for many years, and I think like I told Vivian Saunders, I want to be more involved directly myself. So that's going to be a regular meeting that we're going to have going on into the future, and I think it'll continue to pay dividends for our students in the district. Also wanted to mention that we are having our kindergarten roundup on January 29th. It's the first time, as I understand it, that Maricopa has ever had a kindergarten roundup in January. And I think it's a good process to get that thing going early, and it will be held on that day from 5 to 7 p.m. at all 6 elementary schools. The materials are in the buildings, and if you need more information, details on what that includes, you can go to the district website. It is there. It is in the newsletter that should be in mailboxes yesterday or today. So the word should be out there. And once again, it's one of those good news, bad news deals. We are registering early, but we are reminding parents it's possible we may not have all-day kindergarten next year, free all-day kindergarten. If we go with a half-day program, we're tentatively planning on having a tuition-based program, so if parents wanted a full day, would have that option. We're trying to finalize those details as quickly as possible, and we hope to get that information out in the fairly near future. But we just don't have it right now, but we're trying to tell people what it looks like and what the options are. Another thing I wanted to mention is that we are beginning, and I can see my slide I didn't do my slide right. It should say Maricopa Unified School District Strategic Planning Committee. The Maricopa Police Department will not be involved. So you caught me cutting and pasting from a previous slide, and that's all I can say. We're going to begin on January 31st. We're scheduled for 4 meetings and a 5th one if necessary, which would be on March 7th. I'm recruiting a committee of about 30 people. Hope to have about 15 parents, business people, community members, in other words, non-school staff. And, you know, some of those people are all 3. They're parents, business people, and community members. So a large group of non-staff, and then 3 teachers, 3 administrators, 3 classified staff, 2 board members, and then 2 district office representatives, myself and Dr. Conley. I'll be the facilitator of this committee. And we're going to come up with a 3 to 5 year plan for Maricopa Unified School District. It'll be a good planning tool. It won't solve all of our problems, but it will give us a roadmap. I think it will be helpful as we make decisions down the road, that we make decisions that are in line with our strategic plan. I think it's important to do that, and it's a good process for us to go through. So I'll be keeping you posted on that, and I promise we will not involve directly the Maricopa Police Department on that. And that's all I have to report.
Study, and I believe that's you again.
You skipped over governing board reports.
Oh, board reports, sorry, I wasn't ignoring you.
No.
Next session, board reports. Anybody have anything?
I will currently be serving on the budget committee this time
Okay.
around. I know President Anderson did it last time, so I'm going to step up and do it this time.
Good, you'll learn a lot.
You're going to be a very good one.
You'll learn a lot.
Thank you.
The only thing I have to say is I was able to be the pronouncer for the spelling bee last night. These kids are amazing. I was more nervous than they were. But it was really good to see all the parents, and we had to open up the sides, so it was a great turnout. Teachers did a great job organizing it, so that was great. And I did attend my first official Arizona School Board Association state meeting on Sunday, and that was a lot of information, but I learned it's going to be good. So, okay, that's it. Anything else? Nothing? Okay. All right, now Dr. Chestnut will go to our information work study.
First item is review the monthly financial report for November 2012. And Mr. Roush and his staff prepared that report. I know he'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Anybody have any questions?
No.
I have none.
Nope.
Nothing? Okay. Seeing none, we'll proceed.
Next item is the Maricopa Elementary School Math Improvement Plan. And we are very excited to have Maricopa Elementary School present this information. As you know, we are having one school each meeting the rest of this spring and give us an update on their math improvement plan. And I previewed this presentation, and it's well done. So I'd like to introduce Principal Dr. Jen Robinson and turn it over to her.
Good evening, President Anderson, board members, Dr. Chestnut. Thank you for the opportunity to share our progress with our math goals. When asked to present, I wanted to make sure the teachers' voices were present. We know the biggest impact on student learning is teachers in the classroom. We met as a staff, brainstormed, and explored different options. We agreed that using the frameworks of Charlotte Danielson was a natural fit. So thank you, Mr. Veras, thank you, Desert Wind, for setting the stage. We are proud that all teachers at MES contributed to this presentation. Each teacher presenting tonight will introduce themselves, how long they've taught, how long they've been at MES, and what they teach, so you can see the diversity and the talent we bring. I present you our staff.
Good evening. My name is Amanda Steeb. I have been teaching for 7 years, and I've been at MES for all of those years. And I currently teach 3rd grade. Planning and preparation. At MES, we are consistently using meaningful collaboration. We do this by utilizing Wednesday half-days to participate in professional development provided by the district. We also have had opportunities to collaborate and plan with our grade levels by having substitutes in our classrooms. New teachers have had extra collaboration time. Also, during this collaboration time, we dissect Galileo data, and Taryn is going to be talking more about this.
Hello, my name is Taryn Cummings. I'm a first-year teacher, and I teach 5th grade at MES. I'm going to be talking about ability grouping using our Galileo data. We use Galileo data to create math centers that target specific standards that students need more practice with. We incorporate small group activities designed to give extra support to our struggling students. At our grade level collaboration meetings, we discuss student progress, ability grouping of students, and different strategies that best fit the needs of those students. We've recently implemented a math intervention into our daily schedule to give students extra practice and repetition with problems they're having difficulty with. The next thing I will be talking about is the targeting instruction using our Galileo data. We've created a math standards calendar, which is a picture up on the slide, that zeroes in on 2 specific standards each week. This allows students all week to master a specific skill before moving on. We've created Galileo assignments and quizzes to better prepare our students for the types of questions and wording they will need to know in the spring. Our school has had the opportunity to be the pilot school for progress monitoring. We will progress monitor our students in February and in March to check on student growth since starting our math intervention. This data will help us modify our instruction as we close in on the end of the year. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Elida Perry. Good evening, parents, teachers, and Dr. Chestnut and school board members. I am going to talk about our Math Solutions program and manipulatives and how we use them. Okay, we use games to teach math concepts in a more meaningful way so students can become engaged. We use base 10 blocks to teach place value. We also use dice to play the math solution games for multiplication and addition and subtraction so that our students can acquire the basic skills they have to learn in 3rd grade. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Julie Sullivan. This is my 1st year teaching, and I am a 5th grade teacher at Maricopa Elementary.
And my name is Kimberly Williams. This is my 2nd year teaching, my 2nd year at Maricopa Elementary School, and I teach the functional skills program for the upper grades.
And we're going to talk about the classroom environment. And as everybody knows, the classroom environment is so important for our students. If they don't come in with the right mindset and they're not ready to learn, even if the teacher talks and talks and talks and talks or has the most exciting lesson planned ever, they're just not going to get as much out of it as they would if they were comfortable in a secure setting. So we wanted to take a minute and talk about our classroom environment. The first thing that we know is focus walls. At MES, we use focus walls extensively. Our focus walls provide our students with an interactive way to follow the curriculum. They're vibrant and engaging, and they keep the students involved with the subject in hand and help them to capture their attention as well. Our focus walls are also living, so they change as our students are learning, and they match what they're learning so that they keep them relevant and exciting. We don't have outdated focus walls that the students are like, I've seen this for the last 3 months, what's something new? Instead, as we're talking about nonfiction, our walls match that. They not only add to our classroom environment, but they engage and assist our students in their learning.
And with our math activities, we provide the students an opportunity to problem solve and reinforce the skills and concepts that they've learned through manipulatives, group activities, and play. These activities are highly engaging. They can also be a time for students to learn from their peers, learning new language of math language, learning opportunity to speak it themselves, and also to see different ways to problem solve. Our teachers monitor the activities for desired outcomes and to help dispel any misconceptions quickly. These activities are useful throughout the grade levels. Oh, I'm next too. Family activities. Our math-focused family night centered or focused around our fall festival. And our event provided us with the opportunity to create a positive relationship with our families and their siblings of the students, and to reinforce what they have learned in the classrooms. Each grade level provided an activity in which students and their families could participate. This allowed us to give parents ideas for extending learning into their homes from the classroom. And additionally, these activities were a way for us to help show students that math encompasses everything in their life.
And then one of the last ways that we help in the classroom environment is by utilizing math centers. The math centers are great because they assist children into getting a deeper depth of knowledge by allowing them to make real-life connections and apply the skills they're learning in the classroom. Student motivations increase through activities that allow opportunities for collaboration, so the kids aren't just working by themselves the whole time. Children benefit from opportunities not only to work independently on a learning center, but they also get to work cooperatively with their peers. They get to talk to other students about the variety of ways a problem can be solved. Children-initiated learning activities also help the children to develop their social skills and their interpersonal skills, so they become more intellectually and socially competent. If all classroom teaching is just group or teacher directed, it's difficult to provide these rich learning opportunities for them.
Good evening. My name is Deborah Wright. I've been teaching for 12 years. I've been at MES for 6, and I teach the functional skills lower grades. MES instruction uses a broad array of tools and ingenuity to ensure student success in the area of math. As educators, we are aware of the different needs of our students, and because we know those needs, students are given instruction in a way they will understand and be able to expand on it.
Good evening, I'm Marimi Abadessa. I teach kindergarten. This is my 4th year in the district, and my 4th year at MES. I'm going to talk about kindergarten and move on into first. Kindergarten is the foundation for the years to come. At the K level, students are instructed in number sense. Number recognition, writing numbers, and counting are practiced throughout the year. Students must be able to use numbers to add, subtract, measure, and estimate too. The years following kindergarten, students will encounter the use of the number sense in more complicated and more complex tasks. Kindergarten is preparing students to do just that. Math applications increase in difficulty and allow for even more student hands-on engagement as they are involved in working with number problems and the use of number sense that can result in more than one way to arrive at the correct answer.
I am Nancy Gugesberg. I've been teaching for 3 years. This is my 3rd year at MES, and I teach 1st grade. We use current data from Galileo and classroom assessments to drive our instruction. The data is used to identify areas of strength and need. This allows us to scaffold skills, whether it be reteaching or enriching concepts to meet every learner's individual needs. This type of instruction ensures mastery of standards by all students. Math instruction is focused on building a strong number sense, enhancing computation practice and mental math strategies, as well as solidifying problem-solving skills. Math instruction includes differentiated practice both during independent work and math workstations. A cross-curricular approach is often used to deepen meaning and understanding.
Hello, my name is Jeremy Copenhaver, and this is my 5th year teaching, 2nd year at MES, and I teach 4th grade there. One thing that we concentrate for in instruction for the upper grades, we really kind of key in on the test-taking strategies. We feel that that's just as important as the material itself. We focus on highlighting key words, key vocab words that the kids should know. Not just highlighting the whole story, but being able to concentrate on specific key clue words. Not just that, but then we teach the different ways that the test might talk about the terms. For example, not just the word estimate, but we teach that it could be used as rounding or maybe about. So we just try to get them to understand not just the word estimate, but how else it might be used. Finally, we teach them to read the questions first, so that they know their purpose in their questions and for the test. Even for math, because we have some word problems in math, so we wanted to make sure to understand to read the questions first. Finally, for our school that we're very proud of, that Dr. Chestnut had made mention about, is our Character Counts program, and we feel that that definitely drives our instruction. We have Cassandra here, our spelling bee champ, who's wearing her shirt and then a bracelet that she's earned. So we feel that this is something that the kids are excited about, as well as helps us teachers, being able to have good behaved kids for better instruction.
Good evening. My name is Leah Bordner, and I have 7 years of teaching and administration experience. I currently teach 3rd grade. This is my 2nd year at MES, and I am also the proud site coordinator of the 21st Century Club Slither. Club Slither, our after-school program funded through the 21st Century Grant, has helped tremendously with students who need extra support with math. Students are offered help with homework, extra practice in mastering a standard, and given opportunities to better understand math concepts. Students who attend our program regularly have shown growth in Galileo math tests in each grade level from Test 1 in September to Test 2 in December. We also purchased additional math workbooks for each grade level that are aligned with the Common Core standards. These books provide an additional way to understand math concepts and help our students succeed at their grade level.
My name is Angelia Ebner. I've been teaching for 8 years, and 6 of those have been for the Maricopa Unified District. This is my first year teaching the 1-2 English Language Learner Combination class at Maricopa Elementary. We use our standards, our Common Core and Arizona State standards, along with Galileo assessment to design curriculum, instruction, and hands-on activities that meet our students' needs. We use many forms of communication, such as email, phone, and face-to-face conferencing to proactively communicate with parents. We strive to foster positive school-to-home relationships with all of our Maricopa Elementary families. At Maricopa Elementary, we provide excellent customer service through parent nights such as Fall Festival, Polar Express, student-led conferences, PTO, and our site council. These events and committees establish a transparent and welcoming environment for our parents.
Hi, my name is Deborah Coles, and I've been teaching for 7 years. All 7 years have been here at MUSD. This is my first year teaching at MES, and I teach 2nd grade. Our teams meet consistently to discuss students' progress and needs. We are beginning to use cross-grade level collaboration to design curriculum and meet student deficiencies across all grade levels. As teachers, we create and ask questions that push our students' thinking and use cognitive strategies to visualize and explain their solutions. We teach students to use tools such as hundreds charts, models, pictures, and graphs. By using these engaging strategies, we meet students' individual educational needs and goals.
Good evening. I'm sorry. My name is Tasha Carpenter. I've been teaching for 14 years. This is my first year at MES. I'm the TOSA, which is the Teacher on Special Assignment. Tonight I will talk about areas of challenge. First is funding concerns. January 2012, our enrollment at MES was 577 K through 5 students. As of now, January 2013, our enrollment is 585 K through 5 students. 2012, we had 24 classroom teachers, 5 special ed teachers, whereas this year we have 21 classroom teachers and 4.5 special ed teachers. 2012, we had 4 paras supporting all students. This year, we have a half a para supporting only K through 2nd students.
I'm not sure if when I first came up here I said I have taught 13 years prior to coming to MUSD. I'm talking about staff turnover. We have, just this year alone, 2 new kindergarten teachers, 2 new 2nd grade, 2 new 3rd grade, 3 new 5th grade, a half for our new special education teachers, 2 mid-year resignations, 1 new principal, a TOSA, and an academic coach. Big breath, no. Our staff turnover has presented our school with a challenge, but it has not made us give up. At MES, life situations have presented themselves, and we have had to come together as a school community of individuals that always puts our best foot forward no matter what. Grade levels have come together to assist and support new staff and the staff that have been out for reasons such as illness or loss. All students in a grade level are shared among the grade level teachers from time to time throughout the school week for reading intervention and/or math intervention. And thus, grade level teachers have also come together to work with the best practices for students not only in their class, but among the other classrooms as well. Through the change of administration, the staff at MES has remained professional and held their heads high as a supportive community of individuals involved to help and support all who walk through the doors at Maricopa Elementary School. The staff at MES remain true to their professionalism and drive to educate all students in the best manner possible.
Hello, my name is Dan Wyant. This is my 37th year as being a building principal or a teacher. I'm in my 6th year at Maricopa Elementary School, and I'm currently teaching 4th grade. One of our biggest challenges we face is a high mobility rate among our students. Student mobility occurs both from year to year and also occurs within the school year. As a 3rd grade teacher, it always saddened me when I saw the 5th grade students leaving, and out of my 25 students, only 8 or 9 of those students would be going on to the next grade level from our 5th grade. I don't have any statistical research. I just went through the yearbooks, and in 2008 and 2009, there were 134 students enrolled in kindergarten, and this year's 4th grade class, only 27 of those students still remain, which means about 80% of those students have changed since then. Also, during the school year, I've had 8 new students and 5 students leave, which makes about 1/3 of the students have changed. And this high student mobility makes it very difficult for teachers to catch students up, assess where they're at, and also we have to start the learning process over with many of our students. Continued student mobility, remains a challenge for Maricopa Elementary students to overcome.
Hello, my name is Janet Stensgaard. I've been an academic coach in MUSD for 6 years. This is my first year at Maricopa Elementary, and this is my 14th year as an educator. Another challenge that we have is time. If you can see all the wonderful things that we are trying to do, especially with the Common Core, the curriculum things such as understanding by design, implementing Marzano's instruction that works, and then the Charlotte Danielson framework as well. some of the things also as an academic coach is trying to get our new teachers caught up on past PDs that we've had in years past, such as Math Solutions Year 1, getting them up to speed on Galileo reports. DIPLS Next is something that was new this year that we did some training in October, so we were a little bit behind on that. We are thankful for having PE and music specials. However, sometimes we have 4 teachers at a grade level, so to have a common planning time is very hard. A lot of our teachers do work with 21st Century, so to try to carve out time for those teams to meet is a challenge for us. Thank you.
That concludes our presentation. Do you have any questions for us?
I have one, and I'm sure you can. A question on the student mobility that you were talking about. I know you were just looking at past yearbooks, which was kindergarten to 5th grade. Are some of those students due to boundary changes? They still with MUSD, but just not at MES?
Yes, some of them are due to boundary changes, and they are in MES.
If I was picked the 5th grade, it would have been boundary changes, but I picked the kindergarten on purpose because that was the year after the boundary changes.
Okay, but some of them still could be at MUSD at other schools. Okay. All right, that was my question. Thank you. Anything else?
Great presentation, thank you.
Very nice, thank you. I appreciate everything you do. I know you're dedicated, so thank you. Dr. Connolly?
And everyone makes the mass exodus. There's food left over, people. Apparently food's not.
Good evening, President Anderson, Vice President Coutre, members of the board, Dr. Chestnut, members of the community. As you know, I've been giving you just some information about our district improvement plan, and I'm very excited to work with Dr. Chestnut as the strategic plan is designed and written so we can continually revise and review our district improvement plan to surround what our 3 to 5 year strategic plan will look like. We are on to Goal 2, as I've reviewed Goal 1, 1A, 1B at previous board meetings. Goal 2 is equitable distribution of effective teachers. What this means is, as we look at our promising practices, continually reviewing our curriculum alignment, instructional practices, aligned assessments, and an overall system for professional practice, which you just heard about, the Charlotte Danielson, the 4 domains, making sure that we are doing everything that our students are going to reach their potential. Goal 2 specifically looks at the distribution of effective teachers and principals. As you know, looking at our highest needs schools needs the most effective teachers. And so when we say equitable distribution, that's also what we're looking at, making sure that our high needs are met with our most experienced master teachers. Recruitment and placement of highly qualified, effective teachers and principals. Again, we have a wonderful HR department that continually looks at the recruitment plan, that looks at our areas of need, which as we know are math, special education, and science, and making sure that those teachers are highly qualified in those special areas. In addition, making sure that the teachers we hire are not only certified but effective teachers. So making sure that we're doing everything to give them the tools to be successful. The third strategy under our goals is retention of highly qualified, effective teachers. So recruitment, retention, we want to keep the best of the best. Aligned, coherent professional development, again, looking at our district improvement plan, making sure that it's aligned with our strategic plan, and then giving our teachers and our staff the tools to get the job done. Finally, the implementation of the teacher-principal evaluation. This is, as you know, we are in the ADE pilot, and one of the House Bill 2383 requires that we have performance evaluation measures, and this is how we make sure that we're doing what we need to do to be in compliance with the state. These 5 strategies are determined by our state, but again, looking at best practices, it's doing the right thing. Goal 2. Questions?
Anybody have any questions?
No.
I don't have any.
No.
You're good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Connolly. Moving on to item 6 of the agenda, the consent agenda. Do we have a motion?
Move to approve the consent agenda.
Okay, Ms. Coutre, is there a second? I'll second it. Seconded by
Something got in my throat.
Mrs. Anderson. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries.
Are you okay?
Okay, that brings us to item 6C, which was, we pulled that off of the consent, and that were the minutes from the January 9th meeting. Does anybody have any?
Yes, my concern with that is that Ms. Carlisle Burnett is listed as absent when really she was not a board member yet because her term expired in December and she didn't take the oath until today. So I think I'd like to make a motion that we approve the January 9th, 2013 regular governing board meeting minutes with the amendment of excluding Ms. Carlisle Burnett in that capacity.
And I will abstain from that.
Okay, so is everybody okay with that motion? I mean, is that how you would state it?
That's how I stated it.
I'll second it.
All right, so there's one abstention. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No opposed, but there is the one abstention, which was Mrs. Carlisle, because she was not there. Okay, moving on. Item 7A.
You're sharing soda?
Excuse me, President Anderson, I'd like to
Yes.
recuse myself from this item, given that it deals with my company, and if it's your pleasure, I'd be happy to remove myself from the room.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Bartle? I keep wanting to say President Bartle.
Oh, do you really have to hop along?
All right, this is expense voucher 1331. Does anybody have any discussions or motions?
I move that we approved.
Okay, Mrs. Coutre,
I'll second.
seconded by Ms. Burnett.
Yes.
All those in favor?
Aye.
So we've got 4 and 1 abstention, recused. All right, Mr. Bartle, you can come back.
We're timing you.
Thank you. The next item on the agenda is the HR schedule. Mr. Beckett?
Thank you, President Anderson, members of the governing board, Dr. Chestnut. You have in front of you tonight the personnel schedule. There are a few things that I'd like to address quickly. Underneath the resignation, retirement, terminations, and non-renewals, all of those individuals listed, 6 were all resignations, and I appreciate Member Coutre reminding me to make sure that I get their little asterisks behind those names so everybody knows why. Additionally, down on number 43, that amount should be $1,250 instead of $1,200, which brings us back to the cover sheet of that agenda item, which would increase that total from $34,450 to $34,500 for the total budget implication for the M&O budget. Additionally, I was asked tonight to discuss briefly stipends and their relevance and in our secondary level. Each one of our high school and middle school teachers are offered a prep period as part of their contract time. This has helped them obviously prepare for their day, get their other duties done as well. If there is a need due to scheduling, additional students need to be serviced, teachers are offered an opportunity to take an extra class load. In that situation, they are offered a $3,000 stipend for that class load, basically eliminating that preparation period they'd have. The intent purpose, the rationale behind the move is to keep the district from spending additional money purchasing a new teacher. So it is a cost efficiency that we have implemented and been using. Again, there are a number of different sidebars that we could go off on the use of stipends as it applies to other teachers in the district and elementary staff. But again, that is the primary focus of why we use overloads at the secondary level, middle school, high school. And I'll take your questions last night. Yes. Sure.
I understand what the no prep stipend is, but what is the difference between the math stipend and the science stipend?
Member Coutre, the stipends that are set up for math and science are recruitment stipends to entice people, incentive stipends to get people on board.
Aren't those returning teachers?
Some of those, the situations there were to encourage that motion.
Okay.
To
And is
encourage
this,
them, oh, sorry.
I'm
Correct.
sorry. Is this only for the secondary level teachers then?
That is the only thing we have offered for at this point in time, yes, math, science, and we've offered special education at times as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Beckett, on so number 12, just want to verify that that position is consistent with what the board approved 2 weeks ago. I understand there may be some, have been some changes as far as the funding source or whatnot.
Number 12 is going to be funded from Greenways. That is the funding source. Nothing has changed in terms of the expectations of that position. Still 20 hours, still part-time.
Okay, thanks for clarification.
Was there a contribution by the district for benefits? I know that was under discussion. I don't remember how that was resolved. So the cost of the district is pretty minimal. I don't remember what it was, though.
Since this is a part-time, I'm sorry, since this is a part-time positions, they're not being benefited. So it would just be the withholding taxes and those kind of things the district ought to do to pick up those costs.
So it would be less than $1,000. It was less than 1,000 total for the remainder of the year. Wasn't that correct?
Mr. Beckett, what was the budget implications again? You had changed it from 34 to 450. Did you change that?
Correct. It was $34,500.
Oh, okay.
Just an additional $50.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I move we accept the personnel schedule.
Second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Beckett. Okay, next we have 7C, which is for the discussion of policy G 5150 GCMF, professional staff duties and responsibilities. Discussion or motions?
Move to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. All right, 7D, discussion and possible approval of second reading, updated policy I 2550 HBCA, programs for pregnant parenting students. Motion or discussion?
I move that we approve the second reading.
Okay, I do have discussion before we have a second. We do that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. My question would be, I know last time we talked about this, the question was, President Bartle had inserted a phrase in there, a sentence. And we had asked, it was approved initially waiting for legal recommendations. So Dr. Chestnut, do you have, before we move forward, I do have some concerns, so if you can.
Yeah, the requested procedure by Arizona School Board Association is that they will publish these recommended policies, and then they ask us to put them on the agenda and get feedback from the board. The request is that if we make amendments to their recommended language, that we submit that to them, run that by them, get an opinion from them, which we did. And the answer back was that they do not endorse it, nor do they prohibit the amendment or recommend, deleting the amendment. They said that They would not, if we went with the amended version, they would not put their copyright on it, but we still have the authority, obviously, to make that change, make that amendment, and adopt the policy as it's presented in the packet. So that was their feedback.
So they won't endorse it, or after we approve it, then they have to take it and look at it. I know their legal team has to look at it.
Their policy department has looked at it, which includes the attorney, as I understand it. And so they will publish this online and make it one of our official policies. They would just not recommend this language to other districts, is what they told me.
Okay. My concern, again, with putting that line in there is it's basically stating what was already taken out by ASBA. And as far as if the students don't notify us, the policy is a moot point. So I am not comfortable with that wording being inserted in there, but that's just my.
I respectfully disagree that
That's fine.
if the district's not notified, then the policy is moot. The policy deals with the educational opportunities for pregnant students and providing access thereof.
Okay, I mean, I think that the line, the very last line where it says the superintendent will establish procedures as necessary to implement this policy covers what we need to cover. So I'm just, that's my opinion. I disagree with that insert. I think it's a HIPAA. I think it's a privacy issue. So that's my opinion.
I'll second the motion on the floor.
So we have a first and a second. The first motion was to approve as with the revision for the second reading, and seconded by Mr. Bartle. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Aye. Okay, motion carries 4-1. Thank you for the discussion. I appreciate that. All right, discussion and possible approval of second reading of updated policy I-6400, use of technology resources in instruction. Is there a motion or discussion?
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Discussion and possible approval of second reading of updated policy J0750, admission of resident students. Is there a discussion or a motion?
Move to approve.
I'll second that. Sorry, Leslie.
It's okay. I was on a roll, but it's okay.
All right. Motion made by Mr. Bartle, seconded by Mrs. Anderson. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right. Discussion and possible approval of second reading of updated policy J0800, tuition admission of non-resident students. Is there a motion or discussion?
Move to approve.
Second.
Moved by Mrs. Coutre, seconded by Mr. Bartle. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, last item, 8. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second. Seconded by Ms. Burnett. I was going to say Carlisle Burnett. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We are adjourned. Thank you very much.